I did see the volcanic ash when I was in the Middle East, just on the news and watching what was happening there, and I was really struck by the fact that there's so many extraordinary things that are happening right now that people don't really give them enough thought and consideration. We've got right now in the Gulf waters, we have a well that is spewing oil into the oceans of the world, because this oil now will move into these streams and begin to disperse. It's really quite troubling. I mean, it's deeply troubling for people that think about these things, because Muslims are people that read signs. We're people that read signs. Our book is a book of signs. It's a book of ayat. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives His prophets ayat. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He sent وَلَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا مُوسَى بِآيَاتِنَا, we sent Musa with our signs. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us to read the signs. اقرأ بِسْمِ رَبِّكَ الَّذِي خَلَقَ. To read. It wasn't simply just the reading of a book, but the book of signs, which is in the universe as well. And natural disasters have always been a source of trouble. Dr. Omar Abdullah Farouk was telling me this morning about the volcano in Iceland that happened over 100 years ago that wiped out 1/5 of the population of Iceland. And he said at that time the central question of the Icelanders was, what have we done? He said that was what they were asking themselves. What have we done that is causing this trouble? And this is something that was true of peoples all over the world. Whenever calamities confronted them, they would always ask themselves. These are people that are in touch with their fitrah, with their inherent nature. They would ask themselves, what have we done? And this is something that human beings have now completely forgotten. We have spiritual Alzheimer's disease. That's what the humanity is suffering from, a type of spiritual Alzheimer's disease. We've forgotten who we are, who we belong to, where we've come from, where we're going, what we should be doing in the meantime. This is the state of humanity wherever you go. You see corruption in unbelievable, unprecedented manners, things that really we haven't seen at this level. And this is a global phenomenon. It's happening all over the globe, and it's something that should cause people of intelligence, it should cause them consternation, it should cause them trouble in their hearts, because these are people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about them that وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مُشْفِقُونَ مِنْهَا وَيَعْلَمُونَ أَنَّهَا الْحَقِّ, that the people who believe are concerned about the signs of the hour, the signs of the last days. They're concerned about it, and they know that it's true from their Lord. The Prophet ﷺ, in a hadith, which is one of the most extraordinary in terms of purely prophetic vision, is one of the most extraordinary hadiths that we have in the literature that Ibn Abi Shaybah relates, in which the Prophet ﷺ said, إِذَا رَأَيْتَ مَكَّةَ بُعِجَتْ كَظَائِمًا. When you see Mecca, when you see holes drilled into the mountains of Mecca, إِذَا رَأَيْتَ مَكَّةَ بُعِجَتْ كَظَائِمًا. The Arabs say, بُعِجَتْ الْأَرْضُ آبَارًا, that holes were dug into the earth. The Prophet ﷺ predicted that holes would be drilled through the mountains of Mecca, and he says, وَيَعْلُو بِنَاؤُهَا رُؤُوسَ الْجِبَالِ فَقَدْ أَضَلَّتَ السَّاعَةُ. And you see the buildings of Mecca reaching the level of mountains. You see the buildings of Mecca reaching the levels of mountains. He said, know that the shade of the hour has encompassed the planet. And the believers, when they see these things, it concerns them. The Prophet said, لا تقوم الساعة حتى تزول الجبال عن أماكنها. The end of time won't come until you see mountains removed from their places. When I was in Mecca, there's mountains have been removed from Mecca. Quwa'iquan, one of the mountains that's known as the Ahad al-Akhshabain. When the angels came to the Prophet ﷺ and they asked him if he wanted to see the mountains, that they would يطبقهما على قريش. One of them was Abi Qubays and the other was Quwa'iquan. Quwa'iquan has been removed. It's gone. It's no longer there. The mountain is gone. A mountain that the Prophet ﷺ walked in its shade. A mountain that the Prophet ﷺ probably climbed as a boy. This mountain is now removed. Then the Prophet ﷺ said, لا تقوم الساعة حتى تزول الجبال عن أماكنها. These are signs for people to reflect. The Prophet ﷺ, I was on the Arabian Peninsula with my family, walking on the beach, and I came upon people in a public beach having sexual intercourse in a public beach on the Arabian Peninsula. I'm not making this up. This is the level of fasad that is happening on our planet. The Prophet ﷺ said, لا تقوم الساعة حتى يتهارج الناس تهارج الحمير. That the end of time won't come until people are like animals openly. He said, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, that one of the signs of the end of time is civilized people would walk with their thighs exposed in the marketplaces. بادية الأفخاذ في الأسواق. People, pens, he said, would be everywhere. He said that people, out of their love of the world, you would get 2-income families. That people would be 2-income families. That he said a woman will out حرصا على الدنيا تعين زوجها على التجارة. Out of love for this world, she'll work like her husband to earn livelihood, neglecting the children. Some people are forced to do that. And there's no blame on that. But there's people that just out of love of dunya, they will abandon their children and go out. These are the things that are happening around us. And these are things people have to wake up, because this is a religion that calls people to wake up to the opportunity of life. وَذَكِّرْهُمْ بِأَيَّامِ اللَّهِ. When the Prophet ﷺ was commanded to do this, if you look in Surah Ibrahim, all of the verses after that talk about the great things of the past. And Surah Ibrahim it's really, the essence of this surah is about reminding people to have patience, to have gratitude. وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَظَلُومٌ كَفَّارٌ. That if you enumerate the blessings of Allah, you will never come to the end of them. You will never come to the end of the blessings. But man, the human being, الإنسان يشمل الذكر والأنثى, the human being is ظلوم, oppressing themselves. And this is sigha mubalagha, it's a hyperbole form in rhetoric, excessively oppressive. And kafar, excessively ungrateful, showing ingratitude towards the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The prophets come to remind people to be in a state of gratitude. In Surah Ibrahim, Musa says to his people, تَأَذَّنَ رَبُّكُمْ لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. That Allah promises, He has announced, declared to humanity, if you show great gratitude, I will give you more. I will give you more to be grateful for. وَلَئِن كَفَرْتُمْ إِنَّ عَذَابِي لَشَدِيدٌ. But if you're ungrateful, because the Mufassirun say the kufr here is kufran and ni'mah, it's being ungrateful for the blessings. This is also for believers and disbelievers. Ibn Ata'illah says, من يشكر النعم من لم يشكر النعم فقد تعرض لزوالها ومن شكرها فقد قيدها بعقالها. That the one who does not show gratitude for the blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them is exposing those blessings to be removed, to be taken away. And people don't know blessings. You don't know what you've lost until it's gone, like the country western song says. You don't know what you've lost until it's gone. This is the state of human beings. You don't know. One of the great statements of Imam Shafi'i, he said, health is a crown that the healthy wear on their heads. Only the sick people can see the crown. Only the sick people can see the crown. Health, the gift of afiyah, the gift of well-being.